On Netflix, I caught the recently added Rising Sun, 1993 thriller starring Sean Connery, Wesley Snipes, some other people you'll recognize, directed by somebody, surely, based on a book of the same title by Michael Crichton. This movie, a bit disappointing. So, it's too convoluted. The pacing's scattershot because we have interspliced interview segments that take place in the middle of the movie, actually, and then the film catches up to them. The mystery itself doesn't make a whole lot of sense, and how the heroes uncover the evidence, I guess, is really bizarre. So, yeah, to continue, we start out, we got this guy, Eddie Sakamura. You may remember him as Shang Tsung from Mortal Kombat, singing at a karaoke bar in Los Angeles. And I think he's singing like "Don't Fence Me In." And his girl, white girl, tall, 5'11", I think she's from Germany. She's like, "Okay, I'm bored, Eddie, I'm going." And he's like, "No, you're coming with me." And so he hops into his Vector W8, a car that I ended up looking up more about this than I did the movie. I knew of these cars. I thought surely somebody has more video of them, but really there's not a whole lot known about it. Alleged top speed of like 242, but it doesn't quite get there. It looks like a cool design in some ways, hideous in the back. So he wheels off there. Later on we have them getting ready to go to a party. At this party we have what looks like, anyways, Eddie and her hooking up on the boardroom table. There's this big business deal going on in Japan. Japanese firm in Los Angeles bangs her, but she likes to get strangled. So he does that for her too. And at this point, she ends up getting choked to death. Well, Wesley Snipes is a cop. He's going to investigate, and he comes across superiors telling him to say, "Hey, on your way over there, pick up this guy, John Connor." No, not from the Terminator films, but Sean Connery, actually. And he is a white guy who is really into Japanese shit. And I don't fully understand this character. It's like he's on permanent leave, but he's on retainer from like the LAPD, like in case they need Japanese relation stuff. So he shows up, and they go to his like apartment. He's got a chick in there because he's Sean Connery. It needs to be shown that he's active. And so as he's going about his business here, Wesley Snipes picks him up. They go over to the high-rise, take a look at the scene, but they're not quite allowed. Sean Connery yells at security guard. Security guard's like, "Oh, it's you, right? Yeah, John Connor, okay. Yeah, you guys come in over here." So they find out that there's a surveillance system. They go and get the surveillance tape. They find out it's kind of missing, but then when they go and retrieve it, it's actually been doctored, and it frames this guy, Shang Tsung, for the murder of his girl. They go try to pick him up. He's fooling around with like two Playboy playmates, and as they try to bring him in, there's an escape in the Vector. Vector crashes, and that's where we end up with Wesley Snipes telling the story of how this goes down. Then it's like the next day, he heads to his apartment, whatever. They get roped into some more convoluted holes here about business dealings, who's playing golf and shit. And then it's like, oh, Eddie's alive, and he's at Wesley Snipes' apartment. Oh, but I guess he doesn't want to stay alive very long because he gives them the real security tape. It's not really a tape, it's like a mini laser disc, as they call it. Like a VCD. I think these were kind of popular in Mexico at some point, like a video CD. Hands that off to them. Oh, but then he wants to get into a fight and get himself killed with some guys down the street. So they take a look at it, they find out there's a senator involved. You may recognize him as the neighbor married to the incredibly hot honey on Fresh Off the Boat. And he was also one of the guys who shot at RoboCop with the sniper cannon. You know, at the end of the movies, like, everybody got one. So the first RoboCop, yeah, you may recognize him. So there's that guy, and he kills himself because now it shows they cheat on his wife. So we're led to believe that Eddie, with the hot, tall German chick, not bad for being 5'11". Yeah, I have a height restriction. He just goes and lets the sinner bang his chick. And then he doesn't even seem to be too upset that she's dead, but he has the real security tape on it. So instead of giving that to Sean Connery and Wesley Snipes when he had a chance, he just kind of sits on it, huh? And then we have this video technician, Tia Carrere, who is all about, oh, hey, look what you can do with computers now. I can switch your heads in just a second. Yeah, it's easy to doctor all this stuff. She like uncovers all the stuff that's been terribly done, hiding a ghost walking across the screen pointlessly when it's so much easier to just crop out the whole section. I mean, it's a static shot. And besides this, you can't do this stuff in 1993 in the time frame that they do it. And that makes it laughable. So then we find out that who's all really behind this, or at least who's going to take the blame. There's a white guy with poofy hair, and he gets thrown into some cement, and they don't bother getting him out. They just go, well, that's the way it goes in Japan. So that's pretty much your movie there. As they wrap this up, Tia Carrere and Wesley Snipes are like, well, are we sure that's really the guy? Just go with it. Everybody wants the case closed. Oh, by the way, I've been shacking up with Sean Connery this whole time, and I guess we have an open marriage or some shit, so why don't you come meet me? And Wesley Snipes is like, I think I will. Yeah, Rising Sun, I give it 2 out of 4.